Hello dear students, I am your BST teacher Prabhat Dubey from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. We were discussing the Fayol's principles of management, if you are able to recall, and we have covered the 12 principles. Today we will focus on the 13th and 14th principle. First one is initiatives and second one is spirit de corps. This is the French word. It means that there should be coordination and cooperation among the team members and the organizational objective is most important to be achieved. So we have to maintain team spirit, unity, and there should not be any arrogance or any effort to pressurize others, just to dominate others, or maintaining that you are the superior one. Such type of feeling, such type of behavior is detrimental for the health of the organization, and it will make them suffer in the long run. So as we notice that in these principles, the proper handling of human sentiments and human behavior is the main crux. Whatever your qualification is, whatever your technical and management skills are, if as an individual you are not good, if you are not able to work in a team, if you cannot handle the grievance of your subordinates, if you are not giving proper respect to your seniors, then you are not an asset for the company. You will be a liability irrespective of your education, your experience, okay, your technical and management skills. So first we will start the 13th principle of Fayol, that was initiative. Generally it happens that framing of policy and suggesting any measure for improvement comes under the purview of the top level of management. But this principle says that if you are working in a team and before making that policy or any specific guideline for the company for the coming challenges, in the same manner just as constitutional amendment is done to introduce some new modification in the constitution as per the requirement of the prevailing conditions. So if the prevailing marketing scenario and the economic, technical and social aspect around your business is making you imbibe some new change, some new policy, and a specific measure is to be introduced, then you should take that responsibility, and each and everyone's suggestion should be properly heard, and then the management, top level management, will decide that which suggestion is important. If you are working in a team, it does not mean that you should always dominate your juniors. Even if your juniors are suggesting you proper measures, sometimes the arrogance of the higher level people doesn't allow them to imbibe the suggestions, to implement the suggestions that are coming from the juniors or subordinates. These type of people think that if they are going to adopt the suggestions of their subordinate, then it will create a bad impression of their prestige, their skill, their experience, their knowledge will be challenged, because the junior will think that my suggestion is being adopted, is being implemented, then I am superior. Such type of feeling is very detrimental. Each and every individual, irrespective of his education, his background, can suggest you some valuable thing. Even the people who are not literate, who are completely illiterate, can also suggest you some preventive measure that is capable enough to make you improved. The challenge that is coming in your way, the factor that is making the profitability of your company suffer, it can be eradicated out even through the suggestion of a layman, a person who is illiterate. There are several types of examples. An example of Sachin Tendulkar is there when he was suffering from different types of physical challenges. The tennis elbow was there. A waiter of his hotel suggested him just to curb the weight of his bat. He suggested him that he should use lighter bats, and he also suggested him some modifications that are required in his technique. Sachin was a gentle person. If he would have been arrogant, he would told that what a waiter can suggest me. I am the top batsman of the world, and a waiter can suggest me. He would have never given him proper consideration. But Sachin is a gentleman. Such type of managers and top level of executives are needed in the company. there should not be a single glimpse of arrogance. That's why the people who are at the peak of their chosen stream are gentle by heart. Sachin thought, given him a opportunity and adopted, he thought that he's saying good, and the rest is history. Huh? With the lighter bat, his performance improved and he achieved many remarkable things in his career. Same manner, initiative can be taken by any person, but it does not mean that when the policy is framed, the guideline is made, then anyone cannot challenge that. This then taking any initiative to bring any modification would be a indiscipline. While the policy is to be framed, the senior is asking you for your suggestions, then only you should give any suggestion you took, any initiative. You should meet your top level authority people to suggest them the proper measure that can be implemented, but in a gentle manner. You should not talk with an arrogant feel. Your tone should be in controlled manner. Your body gesture should be controlled. You should give proper respect to your senior while addressing him the suggestive or preventive measures. Okay, there should be a respect always in the hierarchy level. You should always give respect to your seniors and affection to your juniors. Okay, arrogance is never going to solve your problem, even if you are communicating with your juniors or seniors. Okay, so a balanced mind with gentle feel is required to handle the company operations. So you can understand how important this initiative is, because you don't know what is the background of any person who is working at the lowermost level. Even that person can have some specific experience. Suppose a person who is working as a supervisor since last 35 years or 30 years, he might have encountered with several types of problems, several types of management issues, technical issues through his entire journey of 30 years. So that experience of 30 years should be crucial for the company. He can suggest some real life scenario, some real life modifications that were done by him, or he have witnessed that in his tenure of 30 years. So suppose if 500 experienced people are working in your organization in the middle level and lower level of management and technical branch as well. So what type of effect this experience can bring to your operational efficiency? So always you should give proper respect to each and everyone's opinion, and then the best possible suggestive measure should be adopted with the proper analysis of the each and every suggestion that is coming your way. You should give proper respect to each and every suggestion, whether it is to be implemented or not, but you should always hear your juniors with proper attention and care. Okay, now we will be discussing this last principle, that is esprit de corps. This is a French word. Okay, this is not an English word. As you know that in English several types of foreign words are also introduced, like some Hindi words are also introduced in English dictionary yearly basis. Every year some new words are getting introduced in the English literature. Some may be from Hindi words, some may be Arabic, French, Spanish, or any other language. So what does this word mean? We will get to know that as the points that are coming while this discussion on esprit de corps suggest to be imbibed. Union is strength. Work with team spirit. Follow principle of united we stand, divided we fall. Replace I with me. So you can understand that this principle is igniting the team spirit. Okay, when you are united, your effort will be cumulated, and when you are separate, you are making effort alone, then that effort will not be important. That this type of effort is not needed in the company, because you know that in any company several type of people are working with different types of birth, religion, taste, language. All these things are a barrier, but if you are open minded, you think that the entire globe is our family, then such type of challenges will never hamper your way. You will always develop a strong relationship, good healthy relationship with your team members. So now the last principle, Spirit de Corps. What does it mean? It means that to encourage and promote team spirit, unity and harmony. This will bring coordination and cooperation in the organization. This is the main crux. That's why this principle is given at the last. If you are adopting this, almost 50% of the problem that is coming will be just eradicated. If you are capable enough to unite your team, you are not allowing them to develop any grievance in their mind. If you are taking proper care of their requirements, even if some of your team members are not capable enough to support you at a very crucial point, there is some disease or there is some family issue, then the rest of the team members should take responsibility. An example is given in the book. Suppose 100 unit of product are to be produced and 10 people are there in your production unit. You have divided them 10 unit per person. But if 2% fall ill, what will happen? The 8% will take responsibility of the 2%, and now 8% will do some extra work, and the organizational goal is met under the proper time limit. Such type of efforts are needed. Okay, because organizational goal is supreme. Individual goal are to be sacrificed in order to achieve the organizational goal. Such type of feeling will make you prosper, either in your organization, institution, any group where a common objective is to be achieved. Their sacrifice of personal objective will always lead to success. Some more points that are given in your book, that this will give rise to mutual trust and belongingness among team members. It will minimize the need for using penalties. Okay, you don't need to imbibe the impunity. You don't need to penalize your team members. If your team members are satisfied, they will take responsibility. A sense of responsibility and belongingness would be produced. If your team members are committed, they think that they are working for a person who is noble in his intention, who is taking proper care of him. He is not just exploiting him. If a feeling of being exploited is there in the employees, then the productivity will always suffer in the long run. So this is the basic responsibility of any business manager, to ignite a faith in the team members. If the team members are having faith, belongingness in the team, then only the desired objective will be fulfilled. Okay, so you can understand that how important these principles are there for the management and administration. So we should be thankful to Henry H. Fayol for giving us these 14 principles. These are the crux of management. If these principles are imbibed and implemented in a proper manner, even if you are working in any business unit or a management unit, even for your personal management, in managing your life, these principles are very important. It will make you a better person. So you can understand before discussing these principles, and after discussion of these principles, you will find that there is some value addition in your personality. Okay, your personality is getting ignited to follow these measures wherever you are going, in whichever organization, whatever organization you are working after 5 or 6 years. Even at your school, your conduct, your manner with which you socialize, the manner with which you deal with your teachers, your fellow student, your friends, even at your home, your ways would be amended when you imbibe these principles of management. Okay, so with this note, we are ending our discussion on these principles of management. From next class, we will discuss scientific management that was developed by F.W. Taylor. F.W. Taylor is also a very renowned name in the field of management. So we will discuss about the background of F.W. Taylor, then his contribution and various aspects of his scientific management. So this is also a very important theory for the management. What are the scientific principles? And harmony, cooperation, not individualism, development of workers for their greatest efficiency and prosperity, scientific techniques of Taylor's like functional foremanship, and standardization and simplification of work study, motion study, difference, piece, based system, all these things will be discussed. Okay, so be prepared, go through that scientific principle. We will meet tomorrow to discuss all these things. Okay, thanks.